Hello, this is Winston Oy, and I'll be doing a review of the first episode of the new television series APB. I watched the first episode of this show on the 16th of February on the channel Fox 8 here in Australia, and was quite impressed by it, and decided to give a short review of the show's first episode. Warning, there will be spoilers in this review. For those who don't know what APB is, it's a television series about tech billionaire named Gideon Reeves, who, after witnessing the murder of his friend, decides to purchase a troubled Chicago police precinct, turning it into his own personal private police force in an effort to find his friend's killer and to increase the efficiency of the police force under his watch in dealing with crime. This story is loosely based on the New York Times Magazine article Who Runs the Streets of New Orleans. The concept of this show was a big breath of fresh air for me. You don't come across many shows with this story idea. As a matter of fact, I haven't come across any shows that have this idea. When I first saw commercials for this show before its debut day over here in Australia, it immediately piqued my interest. From watching the commercials, it came out as some sort of cross between a crime drama and science fiction. The main concept in this show is upgrading a troubled police force with the latest in crime-fighting technology and seeing what happens. It has science fiction elements, but it doesn't come across as cheesy. You don't see cops running around with guns that shoot lasers or police robots fighting crime. The technology presented in this show is realistic and is a reflection of the type of technology that can be used by today's standards. I guess you can say that part of what makes this show, at least this first episode, so interesting is that they are using technology that is relevant to this day and age. Crime in society is always an issue, and this show asks the question, how well can we deal with crime if we have the right amount of money and technology to deal with it? The main character of this show, Gideon Reeves, sort of has similarities to the character Tony Stark from Iron Man. Both are rich billionaires who make a living producing advanced technology. They encounter a devastating moment in their life that changes them, and as a result use their knowledge and wealth to deal with the problem that caused them grief. For Tony Stark, it is making a cybernetic suit to fight bad guys and to stop his weapons from falling into the wrong hands. While for Gideon Reeves, it's taking over a police precinct and upgrading them with the latest crime-fighting technology, so that they can catch the killer who murdered his friend as well as making crime fighting for the police force more efficient. I found Justin Kirk's performance, the actor who plays Gideon Reeves, to be convincing and the way his character developed through the first episode to be well written. One of the moments in the show that I really liked was how the writers showed but not told the scene that took place at the police station after the death of Gideon's friend. It was like a perfect example of how to describe a scene for a novel writer by showing and not telling. The scene that I am talking about is when Gideon is at the police station sitting down trying to give evidence for his friend's murder. He looks around and sees how run down the police station is. When I finished watching this first episode, I had the impression that this show was divided into two aspects, technology and the actual drama of policing. The first aspect of this show, the technology, would probably be dealing with how the police fight crime with Gideon's new gadgets, as well as maybe the possibility of coming up with new technology as time passes, while the second aspect, the drama, would be dealing with the actual day-to-day lives of being a cop. Another thing I really liked by the writers was the way they wrote Gideon's technology into the first episode's story. On first glance, they made the impression that Gideon had the right tools for any job the police needed to handle. However, after the death of a rookie cop that Gideon is responsible for, Gideon goes back to the drawing board and comes up with the idea of installing a taser gun on one of his drones, in an effort to deal with dangerous criminals without furthering endangering the lives of the police officers. I really enjoyed the way they presented this aspect of Gideon. It showed that although he is rich and intelligent, even he isn't perfect, and that he is working in an area that he has little experience in. I thought the ending to the first episode was fantastic. Gideon manages to catch the man who murdered his friend, and the police force precinct under his command makes improvements in fighting crime. However, in the end, after seeing the large map of the city of Chicago with multiple signals of people using the APB app, even outside his precinct, It gave the impression that they won a battle but the war is far from over, and that they still had a lot of work ahead of them. I'm not going to give stars, and I won't give a rating out of 10. In my opinion, APB is a unique show with unique concepts. And like I said in the beginning, I haven't come across a television show yet quite like it. If you are interested in a crime drama with realistic science fiction elements, I would recommend watching this show. I personally found it very entertaining, and I am looking forward to seeing more episodes.